She gave him the last food she had. Literally the last food. No job, no money, food stamps gone. And she scraped together what was in her fridge, drove it to his house, cleaned his room, stayed the night so he wouldn't have to grieve alone. And you know what he said about her food? He said, and I quote, "The amount of sauce you used is disrespectful." His mother had been dead for less than 24 hours, and he was critiquing her sauce ratios. Okay, let me back up, because this story, it starts sad, really sad. So there's this woman, we'll call her Maya, 30 years old, been working as a nanny and caregiver for over a decade. People literally tell her she's exceptional at taking care of others. That's her thing. That's who she is. And she's been dating this guy, let's call him Derek, for a while now. Derek is 35, and for the past year and a half, his mom has been terminally ill. Everyone knew this was coming. It was just a matter of when. Monday night, Derek's mom passes away. He texts Maya Tuesday morning to tell her they don't live together, so she gets this text and she freezes. Because here's the thing, Maya has never been through a loss like this. Never lost someone that close. And she's never had to support someone through it either. She has no playbook for this. She just knows she needs to do something. Now, here's where you need to understand Maya's situation. She recently lost her job, hasn't had steady income in weeks. Her food stamps are completely used up. She is broke. Like, actually broke, not figuratively. So she can't order him takeout. She can't go grocery shopping and cook him something fresh. She opens her fridge, and the only thing in there is a big pot of pasta and meatballs she'd made for herself. Red sauce, cheese. Nothing fancy, but it's real food. Homemade. And she'd already eaten 2 plates of it herself, thought it was good. So she grabs the whole pot, her own food, the food she made to feed herself, and she drives it over to his place. She gets to his place. His roommate lets her in. Derek's not even home. He's been at his parents' house all day, which of course he is. His mom just died. So Maya puts the pasta in his fridge, and then, and this part got me, she cleaned his bedroom. She didn't have to do that. Nobody asked her to. She just saw an opportunity to make his life a tiny bit easier, and she took it. Then she left for work. Came back later that night to sleep over so he wouldn't be alone. That night, Derek comes home late. He's distant, cold, barely talks to her, doesn't eat the food. And Maya, she doesn't take any of it personally. She's thinking, this man just lost his mother. Of course he's not himself right now. Of course he's shut down. She gives him space. They go to bed. She's just there, present, quiet, supportive, doing exactly what a good partner does. Wednesday morning, she stays with him for a few more hours. Then he leaves to hang out with his brother, which makes sense, family time. And Maya has this trip planned. Her mom had booked an Airbnb in a nearby city a few weeks back, paid for the whole thing as an early birthday present. This is a big deal because Maya is broke, right? Her mom did something really sweet for her. But Maya tells Derek, look, I can cancel. I'll stay. I want to be here for you. And Derek says, no, go. He says he'd actually be mad at her if she canceled. So she goes. So Maya and her mom are at the Airbnb that night. They're relaxing, and honestly, Maya probably needed this. She's been stressed about money, about Derek, about everything. Her mom did a nice thing for her. They're having a quiet night. And then her phone buzzes. It's Derek. She opens the message, and it's a photo of the pasta she gave him, the last food she had. And underneath the photo, a message. The amount of sauce you used is disrespectful. Disrespectful. That's the word he used. Not, hey, babe, thanks for thinking of me. Not even a simple thank you. Disrespectful. She responds, and honestly, her response is so gracious it almost hurts to read. She says, oh no, I was just trying to do something nice. You don't have to eat it. That's it. No attitude, no clapping back, just pure understanding. And he pushes further. asks if she even tried it herself. She tells him, yeah, she had 2 plates. She thought it was good because it was her food. She made it for herself. She was eating it. It was fine. Now I need you to sit with this for a second. This man's mother just died. His girlfriend, who was unemployed, who has no money, who has no food stamps left, gave him the only food she had, her food, from her fridge, and drove it to him, and cleaned his room, and slept over so he wouldn't be alone. And instead of feeling loved by that, instead of seeing the sacrifice in that, he took a picture of it and called it disrespectful. But wait, it gets worse. Maya gets home from the trip. Derek wants her to sleep over, so she does. And that night, he cooks dinner. Which, okay, fine, he usually does the cooking. But then he starts making these comments about how good the dinner is, about how the food you cook someone is a representation of how you feel about them, how it shows how much you love them. And Maya's sitting there eating this dinner, and she knows exactly what he's doing. He's not complimenting his own cooking. He's taking a shot at hers. He's saying, without saying it directly, that her pasta and meatballs prove she doesn't love him enough. The next morning, Maya's about to leave. She goes to grab her pot, the pot she brought her food in, and somehow they get into it again. And this time, Derek doesn't even bother being subtle. He straight up tells her the food was inedible. Inedible. He says it made him feel worse. He says other people dropped off food that was actually delicious, his words. So he doesn't understand why she couldn't do that. Other people dropped off food that was delicious. Let that sink in. He's comparing her, his broke, unemployed, struggling girlfriend, to other people. People who probably have jobs and money and full fridges. And he keeps going. He tells her the food made him feel unloved, disrespected, that it was messed up of her to give him something so bad. He's doubling down, tripling down. And Maya is standing there, holding this pot, and she's trying to tell him, I didn't have money. I didn't have food stamps. I gave you literally everything I had. And he says, oh, this is the part that really got me. He says, she shouldn't feel bad. She should feel motivated to do better. Motivated to do better. I'm going to say that again. Motivated to do better. This woman emptied her fridge for him, cleaned his house, held him through the night, offered to cancel her birthday trip. And his takeaway is that she needs to be motivated to do better. You know what that is? That's not grief talking. Grief makes you quiet. Grief makes you numb. Grief makes you push people away. Grief does not make you critique someone's sauce to pasta ratio and then tell them to step their game up. That's who he is. The grief just gave him permission to stop pretending. And here's what breaks my heart about Maya. She said something at the end that tells you everything you need to know. She said, I'm a caregiver. It's literally my job to take care of people. Everyone I've ever worked for tells me I'm exceptional at it. But with him, nothing is ever good enough. It's eroding her self-confidence. This woman who is professionally, certifiably good at caring for people, and he's got her questioning whether she knows how to care at all. That's not a grieving boyfriend. That's someone who was always like this. The loss just turned the volume up. Maya asked the internet if she was overreacting. And I'll tell you right now, she's not overreacting. She's underreacting. Because the real question isn't about pasta. It's never about the pasta. It's about the fact that she gave everything she had, and he looked at it and said it wasn't enough. And if that's how he treats her at her lowest, when she's broke and still showing up, that pot of pasta told her exactly how much she was loved. She just wasn't the one who needed to hear it.